Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today I'm just doing a real quick little video here. This is just kind of like a day in the life. I just got back from running some errands the other day and I'm just kind of unpacking those things and that I went and ran errands for, and so I'm just going to kind of show you guys some of the stuff. So this is a respirator system that I use in my shop. I've been asked about it before. I just wanted to take and point it out here. It's a 3M product. This is not a sponsored video. It's just what they got on Home Depot shelves. So I purchased it. I plan on upgrading to a whole personal respiration system that's the full face. I think you've seen Alex Steele has it. The type of work that I get into with the fine finishing of the polishing of the copper and the stuff like that I do, it really has the need now for me to take and do that, because I could spend up to 12 hours doing nothing but polishing, and that's kind of my work. So spending 12 hours, few times a week doing that definitely has an impact on the lungs. It plugs filters up very quickly. So one of those systems are really going to be a nice bit of kit, as people are calling it now on the internet. It'll just be a really nice tool to have in the shop as far as safety equipment. But this is what I use right here. I use the Pro Multi-Purpose Respirator. Like I said, you can get these at Home Depot. This is the large. They come in different facial fits. As you can see, I got a pretty big face, so I need the large version. They make a medium and I believe a small version of these, for smaller bone structures for around, this whole area, to fit this area. If you're not sure whether a small one's going to work, don't waste the money. I mean, these are nearly $40 out the door, so there's a lot of money in these respirators, but they are worth it. They save your lungs. They stop you from, inhaling a lot of those little tiny particulates that you otherwise might inhale. These are really just made for dust, really fine dust, things like that. I've used them when I was in the heating and air conditioning trade quite a bit, when we were in some really nasty areas, when I worked on the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo out in Colorado, one of my earlier things that I had done in my life, and I was kind of like the duck monkey. I had to crawl through a lot of the duct work, and the dust in there could give you like certain types of jungle fever and just all sorts of nasty diseases and things like that. So you had to be fully suited up, had to be fully respirated up to prevent yourself from getting anything nasty like the plague. So one of those sort of things. So this is the respirator I used. Went and picked up a new one of those. And I also had some other goodies. I picked up some more filters for the one that I currently have hanging on the shelf. My ideal is, I've been real bad about just grinding or using like cutoff wheels and stuff without any respirators at all. That is bad. Don't do that. Don't do like me. So I got a whole extra respirator just for that purpose, and that's all that one's going to be used for, is whenever I'm grinding steel or standing in front of the belt grinder or whatever. That dust off steel, even if it's for a few minutes, is just not healthy to inhale and breathe. So I've got me a whole separate respirator for that. I got me new filters for my copper work, as those are fully plugged. And yes, you have to change the filters regularly. If you do not, and these are 20 bucks in of themselves, they're $20. I mean, it's not a cheap venture at all. But as those fill up, you can get you can back draft through the exhaust vent, because there's such a suction that it pulls air in around the flaps or around the other parts of the filter. Air likes to go the path of least resistance. So if it's a vacuum, it's going to find any way into the mask that it can. Even around, if you got a beard like I do, it's going to find its way up through your beard and stuff and still get into your lungs. So, new these, must. Also, I like wearing these gloves, these type of gloves. You can see them, they're a synthetic glove. I use these all the time when I am buffing, polishing, things like that. Now, a lot of people say not to use gloves for safety reasons and purposes, and I would say that's exactly correct, except for the fact of you can get by with using, once again, do what you feel is necessary, don't do as I do, but I'm telling you how I do it here. You can get by with really tight-fitting gloves. Stuff that'll just slip right off. That's why these are synthetics. You can get like a deerskin leather glove. Those are great. Do not wear gloves with buffing wheels or wire wheels or anything that has a rubberized texture to it. If you do that, you're asking to get your arm pulled into the machine. So use your own common sense with that, but these are the type of gloves I use. They're very tight fitting. There's no real snag points that they can get. I mean, right here at the cuff, and then this is actually the furthest thing away from the machine that there is. I did a video about taking my own advice or you know, a safety rant on myself where I got a wire wheel on an angle grinder too close to my clothing and it sucked up my shirt into it. And yeah, that hurt. It felt much like somebody punching you in the gut. Hold on a second. Oh, that felt like somebody, dropped another one. Felt like somebody punching you in the gut. So not a good feeling at all. So something to keep in mind there for your shop. Always be as safe as you can. If you don't feel comfortable wearing gloves, don't wear gloves. That's my best advice for you. You know, the common fact is if you're wearing any type of glove with machinery that can get snagged or caught on something that turns, the common safety denominator is don't do it. Don't wear it. Although in the blacksmith shop there are so many times that that's not a possibility. When you're buffing copper, it gets hot. Very hot. Especially if you're really getting into it and you're really burrowing into it. There's some different buffing wheels that I plan on trying out that alleviate some of that heat as they buff. I'm going to try some of those. They're like a spiral sewn type deal. But I digress. We'll see how that goes. And maybe I can stop handling it with gloves. At some point, I will always handle it with gloves because especially with copper, if you touch it with these, you'll leave oils and residues on there that will tarnish. The salts and oils that are in your skin, they'll actually tarnish the copper, and you'll just get it polished, set it off the side, and you know, you'll spray it, and by the time you spray paint it or you do whatever your coating is, they'll darken all your little fingerprints. So, next thing I got, shop towels. I use these all the time in the shop. These are the Scott's Original Shop Towels. Once again, this is not a sponsored video. It's really annoying, you got to keep saying that on YouTube, but it's kind of ridiculous. Obviously, they're not sponsoring this video. Full disclosure, Roy pays money for things that he uses. So, but I use these. These are absolutely invaluable in the shop. I love these type towels. They're tough, they're durable. They don't require washing. You can use them to light your forge with after you're done, you know, grease-soaked hands. They do a great job. These are like mechanic towels, you know, just blue mechanic towels. Definitely a highly recommended thing. I will try to put links in the description that are affiliate links that, you know, gives me a small commission if you decide to buy them through the link. They said you get all these at your local hardware store, so you don't have to really worry about that. But for those of you that don't have it, maybe you live in another country or whatever, and you want to get something like this, I'm going to put the links in the description down there below. That does help to go to support the channel. Full disclosure. Again. The other thing I picked up the other day is I've been using mechanical matches. Let me grab these. To light my forges for the longest now, and they are horrible. They suck. They're horrible. You can get it light, but eventually the clicker wears out. They put child-proofing on them. They work half the time, the other half the time they don't. So I finally broke down and spent the $4.58 each to buy me a couple of strikers that I'm going to use there. Those are made by Lincoln Electric. I'll put the links in the description for those as well. They come with about 5 different inserts, 5 extra strikers, you know, flints. So that's good. And what else? Oh yeah, so I was recommended a while ago a great way of scribing and getting like very accurate lines is a guy uses a carbide tipped scribe. So I went ahead and bought one of these. I'll do a review on that at a later date, a full review. Put it upside down, sorry. It's called an Empire carbide tipped scribe. Found this once again at Home Depot. Again, not sponsored. But, yeah, so I was recommended to get one of these scribes. It looks like it's got a nice little pocket clip here. Fairly well made out of, I don't know, some sort of machined stainless of some sort that's holding it. It's pretty much just got a little collet in the end that holds this carbide tipped scribe. And we'll see how well it marks. But I did a video on making accurate lines. And a guy had suggested, you guys probably won't be able to see that at all. Not on this camera angle anyhow. Not enough light. No, not in this, but anyways, yeah, there's definitely a line there. But he had suggested that I should just use a carbide tip scribe to get really accurate lines on stuff after, you know, you've smeared them with ink or Dycom or whatever. Use one of these. So I look forward to seeing how this goes. It's also magnetic. It's supposed to stick to stuff. Although I wouldn't buy it because of its magnetic nature. That's kind of pointless. I don't find that very handy at all. But anyways, that's it. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it there. It was just meant to be a real quick one, kind of catch you guys up, see what I'm doing. I got a lot of different things that I'll be working on. Actually, I got one other thing I picked up. I picked up a 4-inch drill press vise. I'm not using that for a drill press. I'm actually using that for an upcoming tooling build that involves a bandsaw. So we'll see how that one goes and be looking forward to that one in the future. So that's it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give me that big like button, thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. God bless you. And like I always say, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.